Happy Halloween, boils and ghouls! Welcome back to RetelFactor. I don't usually do videos like this, first thoughts, first impressions of video games, but I have expressed many times on this channel before I am very, very excited for Luigi's Mansion 3, and especially recently I've been playing tons of the original Luigi's Mansion. You know, we just did a deep cuts video on hanging Luigi, and really dove deep into that fan theory. And I'm very lucky, very fortunate. I've been able to have a pretty significant amount of hands-on time with Luigi's Mansion 3 already, so I wanted to kind of share my thoughts and give you my first impressions on the game. Luigi's Mansion 3, this is only the third game in the series in 20 years. They don't do these ones very often, so it's always a pretty big deal. It was a big deal once we got Dark Moon, because that was like over 10 years between the first game, which is crazy, 2013. So here we are again, like 6 years later. So again, they're not pumping these out like every year. This is not an annualized series. So that's why it was such an anticipated game for me, because I love the series so much. I love horror, even when it's family-friendly horror. I just love it. And Luigi's Mansion 3, so far from what I played, definitely delivers. It's definitely more Luigi's Mansion. Like they're not reinventing the wheel here. You're still exploring a big mansion, except it's a hotel. It's Luigi's hotel, and you're still sucking some ghosts. You're doing a lot of blowing. You're doing a lot of sucking. If you're not sucking, you're blowing. If you're not blowing, you're sucking. And I definitely feel like you do way more of that in this game, not only against ghosts, but just sucking and interacting with the environment is so far and beyond in this game what it was in the previous games. Like, there's so much you can interact with, and so much just like, they have so many objects and things in the environment in this game that you can just destroy. And just, when you enter a room, and it's just full of stuff. I remember this one area where you're literally entering a candy store, and there's just jars of candy everywhere and on the shelves, and you just fucking destroy the place. Like, once Luigi is done with this hotel, there ain't gonna be nothing left of it, because he goes into a room full of fragile, breakable objects, and he just wrecks everything. He just destroys everything. And there's so many things to collect, so many things to suck, and there's a lot of things just hidden in plain sight in the environment that you can interact with. There's so many clever things going on with the game, and there's far more ways you can interact with your surroundings than there was in previous games. Like, you have this plunger where you like use suction to rip things off the walls, to destroy certain things. You suck it with the plunger and then you smash it on the ground. It's awesome. Not only is this great for like finding hidden collectibles and collecting cash, but also it's a huge mechanic when like defeating bosses and, you know, finding ways to creatively destroy enemies. Like, they give you an arsenal of weapons and things at your disposal fairly early on into the game, and then it's just, let's present all kinds of different ways to use these tools to, you know, defeat ghosts in different ways. And let's have ghosts that, you know, they do this in like even previous games. You want to flash them with a light? Well, no, they're gonna be wearing sunglasses. And they introduce all of these kind of gimmicks to present new challenges to the players, and it's really creative. It's a lot of fun. Or just the simple addition of adding like a little boost, a little jump that makes Luigi, you know, blow air out of his ass and like launch himself into the air just a little bit, not that much. And just adding that one little thing adds like a whole new dynamic to the game and the gameplay and the types of challenges and obstacles that they can present the player. It's a simple thing that they added, but it adds a lot. And the visuals in this game, like, this is the Nintendo Switch, man. This game looks incredible. And yes, the graphics are good, you know, because they're all closed rooms. This isn't a big open world game, right? So it's definitely smaller in scope. Graphics aside, it's really the art direction of the game, which I think really shines through. Nintendo is so good at doing this. They really know how to use art direction to take graphics, but make it so they almost don't even matter. Of course they matter, and of course they're having an impact on the game, but it's really the artistic direction of of the game that's really making the game so aesthetically pleasing. You know, Breath of the Wild does this incredibly well, you know, because that's a huge open world game running on like a tablet basically, but they make it work because the art direction that they went with works so well for the platform. And that definitely rings true with Luigi's Mansion 3. This is like probably one of the best looking games on the Switch. That is not an exaggeration. This game looks incredible. And the music's really great. The music's always charming in Luigi's Mansion 3. I think Nintendo does a really good job. I think pretty much better than any other game company of really melding audio and music with like their characters. Like you can look at Mario and you know his theme song is like stuck in your head. Or you look at Donkey Kong and everybody knows the Donkey Kong soundtrack. And Luigi's Mansion 3, I love the music in this entire series. Like Egad's theme, that shit slaps, dude. It's so good. In this game, I don't throw this word around loosely. It's very cute. It's very charming. This game is very, very charming. It's very wholesome, even in the way like Luigi and Mario interact with each other in the intro of the game. And I love that this is probably the first time I've ever seen Nintendo kind of have some self-deprecating humor, like the Virtual Boy, or the Virtual Boo, as they call it in this game. It's, you know, they did it in the previous games as like the Game Boy Horror before. And this one, Luigi's using a Virtual Boo. The UI is all in red, just like the Virtual Boy. And Egad's just like, it's gonna sell millions. And I'm just like, wow, Nintendo never pokes fun of itself. You know, Japanese companies, they're so proud. You never really see them do self-deprecating humor like this before. And it's great. I loved it. But these are just my first impressions. I hear the game's very long, which I hope it's not too long. I kind of personally thought that Dark Moon was too long, but I really love that they added co-op to this game. Honestly, that is like a game changer. I was actually playing the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion as well, and I had no idea until I tried it out, but that game has a full co-op campaign injected into the game. Drop in, drop out co-op. It's awesome. And Luigi actually made his first appearance in that game, which was last year. I actually didn't even realize that. But I just think that this game definitely benefits from co-op, especially if you have just like an extra person beside you. You can tackle these puzzles together. You can vacuum all of the crap in the environment together. Because, you know, I go into a room and I'm just sucking shit for like 5 minutes and destroying and collecting everything, because that's how I play. And I was kind of realizing, you know, it's not a knock against the game, but I don't know how entertaining this game is going to be to watch. Which, again, it's not a knock against the game. It's just, it's slow going. There's a lot of downtime just sucking up everything in the environment and just destroying everything. Maybe that's just because that's how I was playing. But there's definitely, I definitely see it being a bit of a slower paced game. But anyways, those are my first impressions on Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm dying to get in and play more and play it through to the end because, again, Luigi's Mansion, this is like one of my favorite Nintendo series. How funny is it that this is Luigi's thing now? This is what he does. It's so weird, it's so quirky, and I freaking love it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys are excited for Luigi's Mansion 3, and let me know your first thoughts, your first impressions, and of course, have a happy Halloween. Peace!